Still the best November ever or what? Did a video just a while back talking about how I was gonna reframe November. Not the worst month anymore, but the best. It worked. I know it's only the 10th. It's only the 10th of November. This has already been the best November of my life. This stuff works. Our mindset, I gotta think, is probably the key to our happiness, to our health. Diet, exercise, relationships, sleep, all pillars, there's no doubt about it. But if we decide that November is going to be the greatest month of the year, guess what? That's what it turns out to be. Tuesday is the best day of the week. Guess what? Tuesday becomes the best day of the week. We get to choose. There's a great book, Age Proof, by this brilliant Irish doctor. And she talks about mindset in the book. Rose Kenny, escaped me for a second there. Amazing woman, oh, brilliant, incredible book, you gotta read it. And she speaks a lot about mindset. And one of the things she talks about is if you are 70 years old, but you act and feel like you're 60, guess what? You'll be 60. If you act and feel like you're 80, you'll be 80. It's our mindset that dictates so much more of it. I'm able to find, and I never was before, the beauty in the barrenness of the trees. If you're a science person, if you are a religious person, somebody brought this out to me, the idea that all the green in the leaves, they change colors, the tree sucks all the nutrients into itself for the winter, so it stores all the nutrients for the next season, drops the leaves come down, they go back into the earth to create more life. It's an exceptional process. Whatever you believe, that's what's going on. And to see the beauty in that, in the barrenness of the tree, because we have to go through these cycles, like, we get to choose that. We can find the light, the positive in everything. Even in the worst of things, there's some piece of light that we can focus on. What's the good I can take from this situation? And it is a mindset. And we get to decide. November's the best month of the year. Really? Is it? Yeah, I'm gonna say it is. 10 days in, it's felt like it. We've had an exceptionally good November. We've had some rain and stuff, and it's gotten cold, no doubt. I wonder if it's any different than normal. It's me. I bet you it's me. I've decided it's gonna be amazing. And it has been. Has it been for you? We've been embracing the cozy. It was November 1st was really wet, really rainy. It started to wet snow a bit. I had to stay late to work, or I got to stay late to work. That's a good one too, right? I have to go to school today, or I get to go to school. I have to go to work, I get to go to work. Not working is much worse than working. Not being able to go to school is much worse than going to school. Change that one word, there's a mindset shift right there. That's a beauty. I got to stay late for work on November 1st. When I let all the kids go at the end of the day, and at 4:30 it was already pitch dark. I was having a laugh with one of my colleagues who's from Greece. He's like, yeah, you're not used to this for a bit, eh? I'm no. And I cycled home, pouring rain. I was soaked to the bone, incredibly dark. I was loving it. I said, I'm gonna love November, and I was. I absolutely was loving it. You feel alive. It's, this is great. There was a bit of struggle, let's be honest. But when I got home, my incredible wife had dinner cooking. There was candles lit. All the boys were home. The house was warm and inviting. And it just felt so lovely to strip the cold, wet clothes off, put on something warm and nice, and to be home. And that cozy feeling was exceptional. But you can't get that feeling, that cozy feeling, without going through a bit of the struggle to get home. And I didn't almost see it as a struggle. I embraced it. I loved it. I was like, we want challenges, right? We want to face difficult things. We don't play sports to win 100-0. You'd quit immediately. We like the struggle. And sometimes the struggle can just be getting to and from work if you live in northern climates, in lots of places for that matter. And that sense of coziness, that was one of the things I highlighted for the November video, is like embrace the coziness when you get home. But you can't get that without going through the difficult weather. And that feeling getting home was absolutely incredible. Embrace coziness. If this is the first time you're hearing anything about making November the best, that's one of the best tips. Embrace the coziness of coming home when the weather's not ideal. And ideal, that's his mindset too. Some people just love it. I've been loving it. I'm riding home and I can see people in their car stuck in traffic. I'm going past them and I can see they're looking at me and I'm sure 9 out of 10 are like, that poor sucker, being out in this weather. I feel so bad for it. And I'm looking in their car going, that poor sucker stuck in the car. When I get to fly by them feeling alive, it's just a shift in mindset. The other thing I've noticed about how November can be so great is noticing the artificial light actually also. People are putting lights up and the beauty in that, the lampposts, street lights. There's an incredible beauty in that. There's also something to be very grateful for too. Sometimes certainly we just take for granted that we have electricity and those of us that are even watching this, probably living in a place that has these modern conveniences that we take for granted all the time. And there's a real beauty in it. If you go for a walk in a park and you're on the path and the street lamps or the lights on the path, actually stop and notice and the beauty in that. And as I said, people are starting, not Christmas lights really, but stringing lights up in trees and stuff like that, white lights, and seeing some real beauty in that. Which is nice when you're coming home and you wouldn't notice that and that wouldn't really be up in the summer months. So this exceptionalness to November, that if we reframe how we look at it, it becomes amazing. If you find you're struggling a bit, I've been doing a simple 10-minute stretch every night. Just to get a routine of the evening to wind down, trying to make November even better. Can you find some 5-minute routine that you can get into that will start to build a habit that maybe you've always wanted to? 5 minutes can go a long way if you compound that over time. Maybe you wanted to start journaling. Can you write for 5 minutes every morning or every evening, day by day by day, and see what that looks like? Meditating. Meditating is amazing. It's difficult at first. It's a challenge. Lower the bar, 5 minutes a night, 5 minutes in the morning. Can you set that up? It's like, I want November to be amazing, so what is that one thing that I've wanted to do for a long time that I can do for 5 minutes every day? It really can make a profound difference. And just look at everything with the beginner's mind, with an open mind. If we go through our day with an open mind and open heart, just accepting reality. I'm gonna accept whatever happens. Doesn't mean we're gonna allow bad behavior, not try to affect change, but this is the reality. The reality is November is bare, it's dark, it's wet, it's cold, but I get to make a choice. I get to reframe it and go, but there's spectacular beauty in it. And I wanna be the best version of myself. So I'm gonna see the light in everything I possibly can, even on the days when there is no light. So the artificial light and the beauty in that, a beautiful candle lit. The simplest of things. If you're near the water, the light reflecting off the water in the evenings, the beauty in that. Somehow I see a beauty in the bus going by in the darkness with the lights lit up and people going to and from. And just feeling this gratitude to be, rather than always doing. This is a time to be. It's a time to unwind a bit, maybe not be so driven. We can just notice the simplest of things and find real joy, peace, and contentment. That's happiness to me. Happiness is not hedonistic pleasure. It's peace and contentment and sort of the lack of unhappiness, without unhappiness. And that's all in the mind. And finding these tiniest little things in like this joy, peace, and contentment. Maybe this is a great time to embrace peace and contentment and not have to do so much. I hope you're still making November the best month of the year. Reframe it, reframe everything and anything to make it work and be what's best for you. Enjoy the journey. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.